Did anyone realize that it would be so hard as an adult to make friends? Yeah, she posted that on Facebook, and I'm like, no one really told me that it would be so hard to actually make friends. Like, I mean, it used to be really easy. And then now it's like everyone's walking around wanting friends, but no one asks, hey, will you be my friend? You should just do that. You should see people's face. It's fun. I do that. Hey, will you be my friend? Oh, sure. Nice. Got a point. So, number 1. First is your mindset. This is how you build strong friendships. It's based on your mindset. It all starts internally before it becomes external. That's just the way that life works. You need to have an awareness of your capacity for friendship. So you have to be aware of your capacity for friendship. How many friends can you hold? What is the quality of friendship that you want? What type of quality of friendship can you produce? You need to understand your capacity for friendship. You might only have a capacity to have 2 good friends, or 3 good friends, and then you get overloaded. You can't keep up with them. You can't keep in connection with them. So then they become Facebook friends, which are not the same. Facebook friends are not my friends. They're my followers. They're people that are a part of my network that can see things that I post there, but they're not my friends. If you don't call me, you're not my friend. If we're not texting each other, you're not my friend. Thankfully, you guys are all in a group text thing. So, Terry, we just met. You're not in the network, but Dennis and I talk on the phone. Barb, Yvonne's mom, sends me letters. So we're in a very interesting back and forth thing. I see Rhonda at Walmart very regularly. But you have to have connection outside of something that forces you to have that connection. If you're with someone and you're like, I don't even want to talk to them, they're not your friend. You're just being polite. And if they think that you're your friend, then you're being kind of disrespectful to them. So your capacity for friendship matters. So if you're taking notes, you need to be highly intentional. This is the next mentality you need to have. So the first one is you need to have an awareness of your capacity. The second one is you need to be intentional about pursuing friendship. If you're not pursuing friendship, you're probably not going to find any. Right? Just like pursuing a spouse. When I started dating my wife, I was very intentional about, hey, I'm doing this. This is what we're doing. And my goal is to find a wife. So I did it. Her goal is to find a husband. So we did it. You got to be intentional. All right? When you're hunting for a job, you apply. You start sending out applications. You start asking people, hey, you know anyone who's got job openings? You know anyone who's got... You're intentional about it. So if you're looking for friendship, you got to let people know, hey, I'm looking for friends. I know that cuts deep, right? Because that's hard. That's vulnerable. Because by saying, hey, I'm looking for friends, that insinuates that, one, you don't have any, or it insinuates that the ones that you have aren't adequate. And that can be hurtful. That's a scary platform to put yourself on, saying, you know what, I'm looking for friends. Absolutely, brother. No problem, man. Hey, so listen, I have my friend meetings on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we have a dues fee. It's due every other week, about $15. It's pretty good. It gets you into my accountability package as friendship, but it's great. So the third mentality that you need is you need to be strategic about who you pick as your friends. You need to be strategic and you need to be wise about that. Don't just pick people that just are constantly telling you how great you are. That can be very dangerous. You need to be wise about who you pick as your friends. Do they like the same things that you like? Can you be yourself with them? If you make that corny, geeky joke, do they shun you or do they laugh with you? If they shun you, then that means you have to put up a shield. If you can't be 100% yourself with someone, that should be a red flag about whether or not they're a good friend. They might not be the right right capacity. A good friend will accept every part of you, even if they hate that part of you. Then the fourth thing, this is all mentality. And this is the only one of my 8 that has subcategories, so don't worry. And this one's going to be really hard. Some of these are already hard, but this one's going to be really hard, is you need to be deeply surrendered. What? You need to be deeply surrendered to those that you call your friend. And here's what I mean. Friendship always asks something from you. Friendship always asks something from you. There is no such thing as no-cost friendship, no-risk friendship. Friendship requires an emotional give from you. It requires a physical give from you, and it might just be time. Time might be the only thing your friendship ever asks you to give. But you have to be surrendered to that mentality that for me to have friends, I have to be willing to give something out and possibly not get anything in return. So, number 2, and I'll go a lot faster on these, don't worry. First, you have to be a friend. So once you go through your mentality, we've gone through the mentality, we're recording this, so if you're like, man, this is good stuff, I'm learning how to be a good friend, no one taught me. You can find it on our Facebook page in a couple hours. I'll upload it. So that was all mentality. You have to have a mindset for good friends. Number 2, you have to be a good friend. If you want good friends, you have to be a good friend. If you're not a good friend, it's unlikely you're going to find good friends. You've got to be a good friend. You've got to be the friend that you want to other people, because then they're going to adopt that mentality. So if you have friends, then be a friend. To be a friend, you have to value their friendship, you have to desire friendship, and you have to be willing to take the initiative in the friendship. Hey, let's go golfing together. Let's go. So if you don't know, we have a growing golf league in our church. It's just a thing that happened, and all of a sudden now we're going out and we're playing golf together. I did not play golf last year. I did not play golf 3 months ago. It's a thing that happened. Holy men. That's not bad. I like that. That's pretty cool. But the example is, I'm using golf as an example. You have to be willing to say, hey, would you like to come over to my house? Or, hey, would you like to go to the gym together? Or, hey, the movies just came out. I love this movie. Would you like to go to the movie with? You have to initiate something that triggers that friendship beyond a text, beyond Facebook. Can we do something together? Yep. So you have to be willing to take that initiative and invite people to do stuff. And if people are always blowing you off, keep messaging other people. Cast a wide net. Who do you want to be your friend in your life? Who are the people that you consider your friends in your life, but they don't meet the category of friendship that you want? Send them messages. Number 3, you have to be a great friend. Is number 3. You have to be a great friend. So number 2 was be a good friend. Number 3 is be a great friend. If you want great relationships, then you have to be a great person. You have to become the kind of friend that you want. It means things that I look in friendship is I like people that are kind, I like people that are thoughtful, they're generous. I like people that are kind of emotional a little bit. I can tell that they're mad, tell that they're sad. I like emotional friends. That's me. I like people that are spiritually committed. Those are things that I look for, that they have some type of spirituality in their life, because then we can talk on a spiritual network. And there has to be this process that they're willing to grow and change themselves. I don't like people that think that they are perfect as they are and will always be for the end of life, that they don't have to do any growing or adjustment in their life. I find it very hard to be around people like that. So those are things that I look for in my friends. Number 4, we have to consider the needs of the other person. What do my friends need? Not what do I need, what do I want from them? What do my friends need? What can I give them? Philippians chapter 2, verse 1 and 5 says this, may the most important... Oh, wait. Oops. Nope, I didn't write it. I got to go look at that one up. Normally I put the verse right under my thing so I don't have to do this part in front of you. It saves time. But this is a very important chapter when it comes to the insight on friendship. See, the Bible teaches us how to have friends, everyone. Oh, Philippians is so small. I'm going to keep passing it over forever, and then eventually I'm going to have to go to the glossary, my friends. I'm sorry. Bill, I'm looking for Philippians chapter 2, verse 1 through 5. Can you beat me there, buddy? All right, I'm going to go down to my 5th point while we look that one up. Another one is the substance. You have to have good substance in your friendships. What do you do together? What do you do together? So we already talked about you have to be willing to initiate, but as you continue in your friendship, what are the things that you do together that keep you as friends, that build you as connection? Number 6 is you have to share common core. There has to be something at the core of who you are that unites you. In some way, shape, or form, there has to be something that keeps you in line with each other socially as friends. You can't be unequally yoked. So a lot of times you hear unequally yoked, and it's always put in a relationship context, usually between spouses. But the teaching of unequally yoked is uniform in all relationships, even platonic ones. You can't be unequally yoked. Number 7, did you find the verse? No? You good? Philippians chapter 2, verse 1 through 5. And that's for point number 4. Right now I'm on number 6. So I speeded ahead a little bit on you. And we're getting close, guys. I'm almost done. But if you want more food, feel free to grab some more food. So number 7 is this. You should have a range of dynamic friendships, meaning all of your friends should not be exactly the same. They should not be from the same pot. You should have multiple jars of friends. Why? Why should you have multiple jars of friends? Not all friends are going to fulfill the same thing in your life. You are not going to fulfill the same hole in everyone's life. When you're dealing with different things in your life, when you're going through different things, when you want to enjoy different things, you need to have a wide net of different avenues that you can come to. Even people who have a very close inner circle, maybe they only have 3 friends. All those friends are not exactly the same. So don't just pour into one friend. That's dangerous. Why is that dangerous? What if you lose that one friend? Then where are you? You can easily overtax each other. Your capacity for friendship can be overloaded because you're dependent on each other. Sometimes this happens in marital relationships where the spouses have been so in love with each other that they've ignored all of their other friendships, and then 10 years go by and now they're kind of getting sick of each other because they're always doing everything together and there are no other friend networks to back out on. So you run into these relationships like, well, why don't you just get out of the house? I don't know anyone out of the house anymore. Honey, I've spent all this time in the house. I don't know anybody. It can create issues later on in a relationship. Thank you, Bill. Put it on the thing for me. Excellent. Philippians chapter 2, verse 1 through 5 says, is there any encouragement from belonging to Christ? Any comfort from his love? Any fellowship together in the Spirit? Are your hearts tender and compassionate? Then make me truly happy by agreeing wholeheartedly with each other, loving one another, and working together with one mind and purpose. So with your friends, you want to be, oh, yeah, there is more. Keep going. It says, don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourselves. Don't look out only for your own interests, but take interest in others too. You must have the same attitude that Christ has had. Isn't that interesting? Don't be selfish. You want to be a good friend, don't be selfish. You want to be a good friend, don't try to impress others. You're trying to connect with people, don't try to impress others. That means you're fake. People don't want fake people around. They want real people around. At least I do. Don't try to impress me. You ain't impressing me. Try to impress God. Because that's what I'm trying to do. Be humble. Be thinking of others. If you think as people as better than you, don't you treat people who you think are better than you better? That's an interesting word. But people do that with celebrities a lot. Celebrities, you run into a celebrity, you want their autograph, and you want to treat them like they're the king of everything. Why? Because they're in a movie? So what? I'm on YouTube. You could be on YouTube. Justin Bieber was on YouTube. Oh, because some people think their song's cool doesn't mean I'm going to treat them any different than anyone else. It doesn't mean that I'm not a fanatic to some people. There are some people who, if they walk in the door, I'm going to do everything I can under the rug. But if you treat people better, you look at people and say, this person's of more value than myself, you tend to treat them better. That's why a lot of times I say, hey, how can I serve you? How can I be of help to you? I come with a servant's heart to my friends, to my family, to people who walk in the door. How can I help you? And my last one, and I'm getting ready to close. If the worship team wants to come up, I'm getting ready to close, but you don't have to come up yet if you're taking notes. Number 8 is you have to work through the hard times. You have to be willing that once you've gone through these steps and you say, this person is my friend, you have to be willing to work through the hard parts of friendship. You will hurt one another. You will let each other down. You will fall short of each other's expectations. You'll disagree, you'll argue, you'll fight. You'll be disappointed in each other. It's life. That's just life being life. That's just relationships being relationships. And so many people give up on their friendships as a result of that.